somebody I think is in their 20s. Like Rachel Fuda, I think was born in 1993.
Yeah, she's 32 now.
That made me need a relief band. I think that's absurd. A
relief band will change your life. It truly, she's
that's way too young to be engaging with these women.
I agree with you.
Yeah, you're right. Bryn Whitfield is 36. Wow.
How old is Rachel Fuda?
Okay, let's look at Rachel.
I swear she's like 29.
Can I just add some light into something?
Which I think is
Do you want to hear this? Rachel Fuda is younger than the one, the only Sheena Shea, and younger than the one, the only Lindsay Hubbard. That's the funny thing. Some of these housewives are younger than Sheena and Lindsay, younger than Kyle Cook. I think that's really kind of funny.
Well,
Rachel Fuda is 32.
Okay,
yeah,
32.
I'm telling you, she started at 31,
I think, which is a little off-putting.
Wow. Well,
I don't even know why we're still talking about the reality.
I was just gonna say,
it's such old news now.
I was just gonna say, Sarah had a great time at BravoCon, but you know who didn't have a great time at BravoCon? Jenna Lyons, because she wasn't there.
Oh my God, I know. What did you buy of her excuse that she was just booked? She had other events.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this. Jenna Lyons was somewhere. She was stopped by Entertainment Tonight, and they said, like, it was literally the day after BravoCon. Like, I didn't even realize she wasn't at BravoCon until, I mean, I knew she wasn't there, but like, you can't really think about a negative when someone's not there. And then they said, why weren't you there? And she's like, you weren't there. No, I wasn't. Why weren't you there? She's like, I wasn't there. Like, what did you have to do? She had to pull Post-its or post-it something. What did she say? She had to clean her closet.
Maybe it's just not the right environment for her. Like,
listen,
everyone can't be expected to go and speak on a panel at a convention and just be comfortable and thrive in that environment. Just because someone is willing to be on television and have a camera follow them. Like, look at all the people that are subjects of documentaries. You know what I mean? They're comfortable maybe with a small crew and sharing their story, but in an insular way. And it's just not her brand. It's just like kind of a trashy convention.
I have to say, well, you get.
She's used to being at like Paris Fashion Week.
Well,
you're probably not gonna, you're gonna feel like a fish out of water at the Mandalay Bay or wherever the hell this was, wherever the housewives are staying now at like the what is the name of the hotel Crockford? What is it? Like,
no, they put them up at the Four Seasons.
No, where are they saying on the current episodes of Beverly Hills? I keep catching a glimpse of the name of the hotel, and all I can get is like Crockford, and I'm like, what is that?
I know, in Vegas.
That's weird because
what kind of a name for a hotel is that in Vegas? What about Flamingo? What about
Jane? Is at That's, I don't know about that. Erica's at the Mandalay Bay House of Blues, so I don't know.
Can we talk about Beverly Hills for a minute?
Can we just say one more thing about Jenna Lyons?
Yeah, because I want to know if she's back. Is she back or not? Because I'm not totally over Jenna Lyons yet. There's something, look, Jenna Lyons, I feel like just has this air about her that she's like too good for everything Bravo, right? But yet I do want that CEO of to come out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she could teach America so much. You know what I mean? Like,
I liked her. I didn't love her, but I love that when I realized she wasn't at BravoCon, because BravoCon again, I mean, I would have gone the last minute when Melissa Rivers invited me to go with her to cover it, just because it's Melissa and I like her. But I'm short of that. I mean, I couldn't. I had prior engagements, but it's not my scene either. Now, you do get paid $5,000 a day unless it increased. But Jenna doesn't need the $15,000. I loved her in that moment where she's just like, they said, why weren't you there? Yeah. And she's like, I was twiddling my thumbs. Like, it literally was like, she didn't want to go.
And I think she's like this generation's Carol Radziwill, Oh, that's the name that you mispronounce all the time. I was trying to think of it.
The other people came for her too.
What do you say, Sarah? You say
I always say Rad as well.
Radziwill. It's Radziwill.
I know it's Carol Radziwill, but it's like, but Andy used to say it like, oh, Radziwill.
Anyway,
so it's like, kind of funny.
I don't think Carol would go to BravoCon.
Well, we talked last week about, is Carol going to come back? There is this like, she would fit in with these girls.
That's what Andy said. Andy at BravoCon, somebody asked him if you could bring back 3 housewives unconditionally. Carol was one of them.
Interesting, because I thought they had quite a falling out.
I do too. I didn't even know that there was any contact, but he claims that Carol would fit in seamlessly with this new RHONY cast because she's already friendly with a couple of the women. I think it was Bryn. I think there was maybe Jessel. I don't know. She's already in the mix. So I thought Andy was sort of teasing and wanted that to get back to Carol, that they would love for her to be a friend of.
Well, you know what's sort of interesting? I just dawned on me, like, Carol kind of started the reality reckoning. I feel like she was one of the first people to be really vocal about the kind of toxic environment, and even like calling Andy out on some of his bullshit. So I wouldn't be surprised if that reconciliation or that, no, I don't think Carol would do it. I'm sure Bethany's thought about that, inviting Carol onto her podcast so they can have their reconciliation. Then they can also bond over their now shared hatred of Bravo.
Do you know also such a falling out? There's like, I think Carol wants nothing but the worst
to do with Bethany. Yeah.
Do you know who also thinks Carol started the reality reckoning?
Who?
Carol.
Really?
Well, she kind of did.
She takes a lot of credit. She kind of did. Yeah.
And she's a forward-thinking woman. I mean, you know what I mean? She's got more brain cells than most of these housewives. That's the other thing that's so disturbing about it. It's like, I feel that Bethany's, feeling about this whole network and the environment is valid. And I feel like all the other housewives deep down internally feel it, but they don't want to shit where they eat or bite the hand that feeds them.
But you know what it is?
Trying to protect the network. So it's like,
but you know what it is, like the listeners, the behind the ropers, it's the Frasiacs, the ropers, like the listeners and the fans, they don't want the negative. They don't want to hear that you're over BravoCon. They don't want to hear about reality reckoning. And I'm not arguing with that. I mean, I have a job and I'm drinking this fucking cup of coffee because of them.
It's not so much that I'm over BravoCon, but I'm really feeling over the whole franchise in general. I don't enjoy the shows the way I used to.
I can't disagree with that. Like,
I'm with you too. I mean, to your point, Sam, it is the same formula over and over and over. I mean, somehow they've rebooted Salt Lake to still be interesting, I guess, to me. And
that still feels fresh because it is like we're in its fourth season and it's and actually, I mean, I think of all the current shows, they like share the most about their intimate lives. I don't know. I just feel it's all very superficial, but
it is.
I really still want to talk about Mauricio and Kyle is still the one thing that I haven't recovered from. No, I don't enjoy it. I'm still really shocked by it.
It is shocking.
Very few things surprised me. When I saw that headline, like I almost fell to my knees and like said a prayer because I just wanted it to not be true. It's still really confuses me. I still cannot believe that I'm seeing Kyle openly discuss, the demise of her marriage. Because for so long, it seemed like they were such a strong, solid unit. And I just can't even fathom that they're not together. And what is it? What happened?
Well, she said, she slipped at BravoCon and said divorce. Now she's backtracking and saying, oh, that was just what? Now, I don't understand how you can just use the word divorce. It's kind of like if you get married and someone doesn't know and you're still engaged and you're like, oh, well, my husband. And someone's like, what? You're engaged. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I just say husband. Well, you said it. So it's possible you can call your like sometimes like if I've had like I used to joke, like say I was dating you seriously. Now that would never happen, of course. But say that we were dating, I would just say like, oh, my husband, like it's a funny thing. But so it's like Kyle slipped at BravoCon and said the opposite.
Did she say we are getting divorced, or did she say
no? She said like divorce. Yeah, she said I'm going through a very tough divorce, and someone's like divorce, and she's like, oh, what? No,